This is Matt from MGMT Boston. And on this episode of Lantern, we are back with Rose Johnson, the marketing partner for Tech Week at Andreessen Horowitz. Rose, the calendar is live. There's a lot going on with Boston Tech Week right around the corner. So give us the high level. Like, what are you excited about? What is Boston Tech Week going to be?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Great to be back again. So, and I think the last time we spoke, we didn't know what to expect for the calendar for Boston Tech Week. We set ourselves an internal goal of if we can hit 500 events, that would be amazing. But actually, we've way exceeded what we thought was even possible, which is, just testament to the response from the Boston ecosystem really shown up. It's been so impressive. And I will say as well, we can talk about events, but one thing I've observed is the quality of events is really, really good. So it's going to be tough for everyone to choose what to go to.
Give us some of the stats to help people understand sort of what this will look like.
As we said, Boston Tech Week runs May 26th to 31st. And it is our biggest new city launch. And we're sitting now at just over 620 events, I think we have on the calendar. It's crazy, and we'll talk about how people can navigate that in a minute. Runs from Tuesday to Sunday, so it does go the full week into the weekend. And actually, don't sleep on the weekend events. There are some good technical hackathon events, etc., at the weekend as well. It spans events for founders, VCs, operators, enterprise, you name it. You'll find something in there. And it's all across the city as well. You'll find something in kind of every neighborhood. There'll be stuff going on.
It seems like there's a lot of breadth and depth from life sciences to technology, like you said, catering to different audiences. What does sort of that composition look like from your seat? Obviously, handling all the submissions, approving things. What do some of those highlights look like?
Like you say, it's well beyond the sort of hallmark industries that we typically associate with Boston, like the bio and health stuff. We're seeing a ton of software, deep tech, robotics, defense hackathons, investor events, even a little bit of consumer in there as well. So I think it's really showing the breadth of the industries that Boston is building in, which is nice.
I'm seeing events from Lovable, OnRamp, Whoop is holding a huge Massachusetts AI Coalition 100 Days party, which is going to be awesome. Are there any events, Rose, that stand out as you've gotten to, spend a lot more time on this calendar than many of us?
Oh, good question. All of them are great. The quality, like I say, is really high for all the events, but a couple that stand out, there's a Building in Boston event with HubSpot co-founder Brian Halligan and Jonathan Lai, who's the GP at a16z speedrun. That would be a great conversation. Titans of Boston Tech is an event with Eric Paley, the Secretary of Economic Development for Massachusetts. There's a couple of other great ones to mention. On the healthcare side, there's Next in Care by HSBC, featuring Jorge, who's another one of our GPs at a16z. From platform to pipeline is a fireside chat with a16z and the CEO of Cartography Biosciences, which is worth checking out. Elise AI talking about housing availability, which is obviously a very important topic for the state and the entire country. And ASI is doing a really cool hackathon inside Fenway Park. So just a couple of good ones for you all to check out.
So then it comes to, okay, how do you navigate all this? So if you're a first-time Tech Week participant or someone who just wants to get better at experiencing the most out of Tech Week, what would you tell them about that?
I'd say just go to the calendar. That's your first port of call. So tech-week.com/calendar. Navigate to Boston. A little shout out that New York Tech Week is happening straight afterwards as well. So if you fancy going to both, of course, that's happening. But focusing on Boston, take a look at the entire data set first and then start searching. There's a couple of tools on our calendar that we've built. So there is the build your lineup function where you can actually go through and star the events that you're really interested in. That will populate a personalized link feed that you can save, you can share, you can put it on social, LinkedIn, tell people what you're attending, get your colleagues and friends to come along. And then definitely make the most of our curated tracks as well. So we've got tracks for various different topics, students, hackathons. I think there's a couple of hackathons with some really decent prizes in there. One of them's got a $50,000 cash prize. So definitely check those out and then just explore it. Another thing you can do is search by company key names. So of course, we've got some great names like Whoop that you mentioned, Anthropic, HubSpot, HTC, Fenwick, DraftKings, XAI, lots of big names are hosting. And so definitely explore around that and build your schedule from there.
And I know from a process standpoint, you apply to events and then the individual, folks hosting them or co-hosting them will accept. Do you have any thoughts on like the strategy, how people should think about that?
So a lot of the work that we do, being the Tech Week platform, is we help support our hosts and kind of guide them through the best way to curate their audiences. And we definitely recommend to them, make sure you're over approving people to account for drop-off. That's one. And so I think that sort of increases folks' chances to get approved. The second thing is making sure that the attendee, the applicants match the audience that they're going for. And so I would say, as an attendee, read the event page, think, is this event suitable for me, and apply to the one that you're most likely to get into. That's the best track.
And last, like, how can we help Andreessen Horowitz? How can we help Boston Tech Week be the best that it possibly can be? To give us your closing thoughts.
So definitely go and sign up for events. That's the main thing. So at time of recording, we're 2 weeks away from Boston Tech Week, and event registrations are still very much open. So actually, we see the majority of registrations, the approvals for attendees come in the last 2 weeks. So definitely go to tech-week.com/calendar, browse, sign up for events, share online where you're going, where you're going to be, and help drum up the excitement for it. And I think it's going to be a great week.
It's going to be thrilling. A lot of good content opportunities. This is Rose Johnson from Andreessen Horowitz, Matt from MGMT Boston on this episode of Lantern. Rose, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Always good to be here.